I remember we were shown the cartoon version of Animal Farm when we were about like 15, 16. And we were discussing it afterwards about Napoleon. Oh yeah, great. Oh yeah, communism versus the poor proletariat and all this. And this bloke went, "You lot make me sick. It was just a nice film about some animals." Brilliant.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Carl? No, go on. What's your point? Because you can see the irony there, can't you?
I haven't seen it.
No.
If you want to do a serious point, don't use animals.
No? Well, I disagree with you there, because we're going to get onto literature later, and I think my favourite is probably Charles Dickens, and I think the greatest story ever told is A Christmas Carol, and there's only one way that could ever be improved, and that is a Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's absolutely right, yeah.
So, and I think that you could, and I think people could take a lesson from that and maybe do other films with the Muppets. A Muppet Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make it so moving, couldn't you?
Schindler's List in space! Yeah. Well, I think it would certainly help bring that story to a wider audience.
I think so. Yeah.
A lot of people who, like Carl, who were put off perhaps by the depressing black and white of it, they would suddenly see the Muppets singing and dancing.
Miss Piggy's Choice.
Miss Piggy's Choice, yeah.
Well, we talked about that.
What?
About things like that in art as well. Do you think that bringing something so serious to the masses, like films do, things like the Holocaust, and like Sophie's Choice, where she has to choose which child lives and dies.
Why does she have to pick?
Well, because the Nazis were horrible, nasty, evil people.
And which one did she pick?
I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's the point.
I love the idea that
this is not a betting game.
No, but I imagine this is like Deal No Deal. It's kind of, you're down to the last two. Which one you're going to go for?
Oh God. But why did you ask which one did she choose? Because even if he'd said the names, Robert and Alison, what difference would it make? You don't know the story. Why is it that
because
you've
then
said...
I'd ask more then. If you said Alison, I'd go, what was it with Alison? What did she have over Robert? That's what films are meant to do. You question it. Whenever I watch a film with Suzanne, I always say at the end, what was going on there?
Oh,
that's because you're an idiot!
Christ!
That's because you've just watched the Muppet Christmas Carol and you can't understand why a frog's able to talk.
I'm all for films with a good storyline.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's a perfect point. One extraordinary point.
He's gonna follow this up, mate. He's gonna follow this up.
He's got something here.
Carl, go on then. What's your take on films?
Films are really good. You can get lost in them.
Right.
And
you like one with a good story?
I mean, whenever anyone asks, it's always the same. It's Elephant Man. It's Kes. Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Impossible 2. These are what you consider great works of film art.
I'm just saying these are ones that I've enjoyed recently. There's so many films that I haven't seen, yet you always say, "Oh, have you seen so and so?"
Well, Mission Impossible 1.
And there's good news for you. 3's out.
That's true. One of the most striking art exhibitions that I ever attended, Carl, was an exhibition of outsider art. Something I'm sure you're very familiar with. Outsider art, of course, is work that is made by people who are often institutionalized for mental health problems, or they are just incredibly, the people who aren't in any way part of the art establishment.
Well, right up to psychopathic murderers, clinically insane mass murderers would count as outsider art. I went to an outsider art exhibition in New York. It was incredible, and I bought a painting of this guy. He's a chronic schizophrenic, and he paints in tar, like road tar, that he gets from roads, and he paints in that on wood he finds in sort of skips, and it's incredible because it's sort of like scratched in, and it's amazing. And there's this thing of Jesus being helped down off the cross, and you have to study it, but it's there, and it's quite incredible that it's just scratched in this wood by tar. And there's loads of things that I was walking around. Admittedly, I was walking around there going, "This is fucking mental," and James was going, "You've got to stop saying that," because of course some of the people are mental. There was one bloke doing a sculpture of a skull, right? And underneath, it was like a little head with his teeth. Underneath, he'd put a sign that said "real teeth." Where did he get the real teeth from?
What I think is interesting about that is how much therapy it provides for these often mentally unstable people, which is another important value of art, of course. People's self-expression, people being able to give a little piece of themselves through their work. Do you not see any value in that? How do you express yourself?
Whistle.
You whistle.
Yeah, I found over Christmas I whistled a lot more than I usually do, and I think that was just freedom.
What do you mean freedom?
Right,
freedom.
expand on this point if you would.
Well, that's what art is, isn't it? It's you being free of all the world's heaviness on your shoulders.
See, that's a great quote, That's great, that. For art is freedom. I love that, because I think you've really hit on something there.
Would you include the free of all the world's heaviness?
Well, I know what you meant. I know what you meant there.
Would you include that one in it?
I mean, I would include the world's heaviness in my freedom. You know, some artists are attracted to the dark side, the heaviness of the world.
But I just want to return to you whistling as your artistic expression of freedom. I mean, why did you find yourself whistling more?
That's what was weird.
So just
few
take us
days
through a typical day. When would the whistling begin?
So this was that you spent Christmas down in Kent with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I suggest something? Your freedom was thinking, I'm in my own place now, I'm going to annoy them.
Well, it was mainly, it's when we were playing Scrabble. And they were taking ages to have their go, and couldn't have the radio on because the boiler affects the radio. It works, it just gives something off. Every time it kicks in, the radio goes all staticky.
Right.
So I just was sort of supplying the soundtrack.
I think you've really hit on something there.
Would you include the free of all the world's heaviness?
Well, I know what you meant. I know what you meant there.
Would you include that one in it?
I mean, I would include the world's heaviness in my freedom. You know, some artists are attracted to the dark side, the heaviness of the world.
But I just want to return to you whistling as your artistic expression of freedom. I mean, why did you find yourself whistling more?
That's what was weird.
So just take us through a typical day. When would the whistling begin?
So this was that you spent Christmas down in Kent with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I suggest something? Your freedom was thinking, I'm in my own place now, I'm going to annoy them.
Well, it was mainly, it's when we were playing Scrabble. And they were taking ages to have their go, and couldn't have the radio on because the boiler affects the radio.
You've got boiler problems down in Kent as well?
It works, it just gives something off. Every time it kicks in, the radio goes all staticky.
Right.
So I just was sort of supplying the soundtrack.
And what kind of things would you be whistling?
It was like, I just sort of did a whistle medley. It was going from one thing to another.
A Wedley.
And a man was impressed. She was like, oh, you can whistle, can't you? I was going, yeah. And then she was saying, how loud can you go? I was just doing all different levels.
Sorry, this sounds like a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The boiler's setting off the radio. I can whistle. Oh, you're good whistling, aren't you? Oh, yeah, Scrabble. Talk about outsider art.
I love the fact that Carl's life is like living in a home when you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
But you felt that this was your way of expressing yourself.
I just found it odd because I don't whistle that much. I think just because I think I'm fed up most of the time when I'm in London, and you don't whistle when you're fed up. Whistling's a happy thing. You never get an angry man suddenly breaking into a
well,
whistle.
the people who aren't whistling are usually pissed off. But yeah, the bloke who's whistling, it's like it's the least. He's the least annoyed person in the room when someone's whistling. Same as holding a drill. The only person that noise doesn't annoy is the bloke who's drilling. Everyone else wants to punch his face in. Same with whistling. Whistling, there's no point in whistling.
No, there is.
No, there's not. The only point to whistling is in a bloke's changing room. Everyone's whistling, going, "I'm not looking at your cock." If I'm whistling, I can't be looking at your cock. Anything else? There's no calling a dog. Maybe calling a dog
It changes the atmosphere.
Yeah, it annoys everyone else.
Don't know. I mean, our window cleaner was known as like, that's how you knew he was there. He always whistled. And in the end, he fell off his ladder, broke his front teeth.
Oh.
Retired.
What, because he couldn't whistle?
That was it. It was like...
Well, yeah, he whistled all the time.
Can't whistle, can't clean windows. It's a bit tragic.
Could he take along a whistle? Just pop that in his mouth?
Yeah, I suppose he could have done. I didn't think of that.
What about a flute? Or a recorder? Not London's burning again. Fucking clean the windows and then fuck off.
He didn't really think this through, did he? He retired at the age of 28. And his whole family were bankrupt.
With no teeth.
Yeah.
And just a
Why
bucket and a
Why are
squeegee.
you working, Dad? Because I can't whistle.
I can't whistle anymore. And if the day you give up whistling is the day I give up window cleaning.
So, back at the Chosen 500 in ancient Greece, right, you're one of them. What other things?
I like that saying, the one about do to others as you'd like to be treated yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Pop that on a leaflet, pop it through the door.
But you seem to be doing a lot of leafleting. That seems to be your entire governance seems to be guided by popping leaflets through doors. And I get a lot of leaflets, so I'm presuming the rest of the country does, and it's not always working. So maybe sometimes you've got to instigate something a little bit more strong-minded than fucking leaflets, my friend. Maybe you've got to make a couple of laws. You've got to stand
every
up.
individual can go, how would I want to be treated? Well, I'd want someone to throw cake at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a greedy bastard.
I would want someone to steal my telly.
I'd probably start on the way you look.
Right, go on.
I'd just say, right, you know, make an effort, tidy up your house, and I'd have some sort of.
I'm poor.
Doesn't matter. You can still tidy up.
Can we get better houses then? Because
Well, look after the one that we've let you.
Yeah,
Get rid of that old mattress that's in your garden there. Clean the windows, and then we might give you a nicer one. At the moment, you don't deserve anything nicer. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to be honest with these people. Wake them up.
I like that. Sure, you've got to be honest with them. You've got to wake them up through heavy leafleting campaign.
yeah.
But do you see the problem with some of what you're saying, Carl, is that it's very hard to enforce that in law because it seems unjust and unfair. You can't really start legislating against people's looks or whether they want. I mean, you have to keep your house tidy. I mean, who decides how tidy it has to be? It's the tidy police. I mean, that's a strange.
Well, hold on though. I like wearing sort of these denims. It expresses who I am, and I like wearing a beard because I just think it's natural. I don't really like shaving, and I like this sort of smell. I like this smell of BO. That's who I am as a person. So how can you impose that on me just to be part of society? Who are you to infringe my rights as an individual?
What do you want out of life?
Well, no, I think I just like to say I don't want to conform. I don't want to just shave and wear a suit and I keep myself to myself, and I like to just grow a beard and eat porridge with my hands. I'm not hurting anyone, so I don't know why I have to conform to that society.
Well, there's nothing I can do for you. You're wasting my time, really.
Although I do feel ill, I need to go to hospital now. So I'm gonna go to hospital now if that's all right. Is there care for me?
Well, what's up with you?
I've got diseases from like eating with my hands, and there's things growing in my beard.
Right.
So will you clean that up for me now?
No, because it's all been brought on yourself.
Well, no, but that's irrelevant. A lot of people bring things on themselves, but you can't just ignore them because it's just part on. It's a bad society.
Well, so how did they learn then?
I don't know why I'm being punished for being stupid.
How did they learn then?
Well,
I don't understand why I've got to worry about you.
I've got
proper ill people.
Well,
you had a kid whinging at me this morning because his dad was a Mong.
Obviously, in China, you can only have one child, can't you? Is that something you feel we should bring in here?
Yeah, I think we've got to. I don't know about one kid. I just sort of concentrate on who can have a kid, as opposed to if someone's got a load of money and they're good at looking after kids, let Madonna have as many as she wants. But if it's someone who's
social engineering you want to do.
But hold on though.
Well, what you said then, if you're bringing him into a poor family, what's the point? What good is that for anyone? It's not good for the people who've had the kids.
So who's deciding who's allowed to have how many kids? Are you deciding?
I was brought into the poor family, wasn't I?
What?
I was brought into a poor family.
Yeah, no, I'm talking really poor.
So third world.
No.
Well, poorer than that. Poorer than no money at all.
No, somewhere in the middle again. You've gone too far the other way.
Okay,
why has it always got to go the other way?
Cornwall.
I just mean like the people who I've told you about on the estate sometimes, who had that one who chased cars and stuff. He wasn't happy. They didn't care if he was there or not. What's the point?
Right. So hang on. So let's imagine that Ricky and I are husband and wife. We've come in, right? What's your questions to us to establish whether we are allowed to have a couple of kids?
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Me and my husband, we can't have children.
Why not?
Because he's got no sperm at all.
Okay.
He had one sperm and it was too ridiculous. It was awful. It just came out like a dead anchovy.
Right.
And you're meant to have 300 million tiny ones, and he had one big one. It was horrible. I had to pull it out. It was like a leech, and also it was no. I haven't got a vagina, so there's no place
Completely
to put
smooth down there, like an action man.
Yeah, it was just that. I don't know, but we love children, and we wondered if we we could have a child.
What do you do for a living? What do you do? What's your work?
I'm a rapist.
Right.
And I dispose of the bodies.
Right. Well, fill out this form.
I should have clarified, a rapist murderer.
Fill out the form.
He does it in the wrong order as well, I must say. So, no, number of times I've disposed of the body, said I hadn't made that one.
I just wondered what else you need to know about us. Because even though
That was our little joke, by the way. He doesn't rape, and
I work in an office.
He works in an office in the town.
But
I'm a housewife.
She's a housewife.
I'm making a little nest for when we adopt a little child.
we don't earn a great deal of money, but we're good parents.
We're very good parents.
What's that based on? How have you
Well, we're
managed to
good
come up with-
people, you know. I mean, aside from a few naughty jokes.
We're God-fearing people. We believe that God is watching all of us, and we believe in the Old Testament.
And sometimes he tells us to kill and rape.
Yeah, sometimes he does. Yeah, particularly. We've stoned a couple of homosexuals this week alone.
We're joking again.
We're
of
joking
course.
again.
Or just a joke, just a
We don't
joke.
believe in God. We're from an atheist and believe that our time on earth is all we have, and then when we die, we become worms meat.
Right. Well, you filled out
But
the
we've
form.
already painted the back bedroom. That's ready for the little child.
We painted it black
Yeah.
because we want our child to be a Satanist.
Right.
Joking again.
Little joke
Joking
from us.
again.
Little
We want him to be an accountant,
Right.
Yeah.
gay accountant.
Some would say the same thing. Only joking, of course.
I think there's too much in society where people are pressured to be heterosexual, so we're going to try and make ours a homosexual. So we don't care whether you get a homosexual or a heterosexual, but I tell you, by the time he's 14, he will be as queer as the Ace of Spades.
Right. So you filled out the form.
Fill out the form.
Yeah. We'll put that in, get it processed.
Right.
Okay, but what kind of questions are you going to ask us?
None really.
No, so
Just my job.
you're happy. You're
My
happy with
job
us.
to pass the forms on.
We've passed the interview.
Because that's the sort of world we live in now.
Oh God! We don't want a child. We don't want a child, actually.
But do you know where we could buy a knife and a sack?
We talked about the little fella planting a tree that he will never sit under. He's given that to the next generation. Okay? Now, big discussion about donor cards. Of course, there's no reason not to give your kidneys away after your death, to all your organs. They're no good to you, and you'll be helping life. It's perverse to me that you wouldn't want to donate your body to a worthy cause after your death. Medical research, whatever. You agree with that, don't you?
Well, you know how I feel about it a little bit. I don't like the idea of certain bits.
Why not? What does it matter?
Just because there's certain bits that are really personal to you, aren't they?
No, there's not. What bit is more personal than another bit to you?
Well, like I've said, my eyes. They're my eyes. They see stuff I like.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if someone else has them and they start looking at stuff I don't like? I don't like the idea of that.
But that's ridiculous because your eyes they're just bits of tissue. Then they haven't got
No,
your.
but we don't know because they found
do
out
know.
there's something called cellular something or other that I've told you about the person who had some sort of operation and ended up like in Yellow Biscuits. I've told you about.
Yeah, but that's
It's
bollocks.
the same
You
thing
told
with
us
the
about
eyes.
it, but I dismissed it as bollocks immediately.
but
Not just because you said it, because it was intrinsically bollocks.
No, but it could work the other way anyway, where
No.
the person who has my eyes starts like looking at ants and insects and stuff. I
Right,
might
it's all
carry on.
bollocks. Again, this is all bollocks. Got none of your memories, none of your thoughts, none of your reasoning, nothing of you, none of your personality. They're just a collection of cells that now have light going through them and making this new person see. They're a lens. They're a lens. That's all they are. So there's no reason why, you know, this was the crazy thing, isn't it, when people started saying that they wanted their organs to go to a particular race of person, and obviously that's illegal. Also, it shouldn't be the choice, really. I think you should have that opting out, that you have to say that you don't want your organs given after, and if you die, then they assume that those organs are up for grabs because there's a shortage. So what do you think of that?
Like I say, they can have certain bits. They're not having the eyes. I think that's fair.
What, can they have the cock and balls?
I prefer it if they didn't.
You're saying no one's going to have my eyes or my cock and bollocks.
What if
ever.
the tables were turned?
Yeah.
What if someone said, Carl, you've lost your cock and bollocks in a terrible accident. It's all right, we put some flowers at the scene of it. It's brightened that area up. But, we found a donor who's happy to give you his cock and bollocks.
He's dead, but his cock and bollocks we kept on
Would
ice
you
then.
accept them?
They're absolutely lovely match.
Better than yours.
Yeah.
Bigger, younger.
Yeah, go on then, I'll have them.
You'd have
So you would, Terry, see, you'd have someone else's cock and bollocks, but then you wouldn't donate yours to someone
But
else.
what about this? What if you discovered later, right, that the person who donated the cock and bollocks, right, was a sex pervert? was a homosexual sex pervert?
I don't think, though, that I'd bother looking into the history of these cock and bollocks.
You
It's
just
not
accept
like,
them.
you know...
You'd accept them willy-nilly, but what if you just found out by
That
chance?
was his name. That was his name, willy-nilly. That was his stage name. And
What
he'd
if
come
you
on and
found
show
out
him off
by
and they-
chance?
How do I find out by chance? What's the scenario
They
there?
say, well, the doctor goes, I should tell you, I know you believe in a load of shit about yellow biscuits and bollocks like that, so I'll just tell you, in case anything goes weird, this was a sex pervert's cock and bollocks, so if you find that you're sticking these through letterboxes, don't worry, it's not your fault. It's where they wanted to have gone. That's,
Would it concern you if you accepted the cock and bollocks that had a past like that?
Yeah, because the problem is, it wouldn't be that bad if I had his eyes,
why?
because then I'm seeing what he wants to see, and
That doesn't
mess
make
with
any
it.
sense at all,
No,
Carl.
but unfortunately-
It makes no sense at all.
The match is wrong. The eyes don't go with the cock and bollocks anymore.
I don't know.
So something's going to lose out here. Either the cock and bollocks, they're not going to get what they want anymore, or the eyes are going to be upset.
So are you scared of the idea, to go back to your yellow biscuit analogy, that the cock and bollocks you inherit, that whatever the previous owner did with them...
Lives on.
You see, the ant analogy, joking aside, I think there you hit on the fact that life is about working for what you get. And I'm right behind that. I am right behind that. I think that's I think that's absolutely true.
That's what I meant. What's dangerous is
A boiling kettle to an ant.
At the end of the day, right? Yeah, but that's evil, isn't it?
What?
You know, I mean, you sometimes make out as if I'm an evil man. We had an ant problem in the garden. Suzanne said, we've got to get rid of these. And I said, well, it's a bit out of order, they are outside. And she said, yeah, but there's getting a lot of them. She went and popped the kettle on. I said, I can't handle this. I went in, right?
What, you didn't want to see the ants burn? That's sweet, you know, they're there.
Yeah, they might be causing a problem, but I don't want to see this mess. Now, the thing is, she went out, she poured the hot water on it, I left it a few minutes, I went out, I had a cup of tea, I thought, it's a waste of electrical
Kettle's
line.
full, yeah.
So I took my cup of tea out there, and I'm sat there, and then I just saw one come back from wherever it had been. One ant. He looked devastated. Because that had been away. As far as that was concerned, it had been out to get a leaf or whatever. He came back, devastation. And it's that what that's the thing. It summed up death for me. That the ants that are dead, they didn't know anything. Suddenly they were there. Next minute, load of water, dead. It's the people who are still living in life that are the saddest, aren't they? After death. And that summed it up.
What do you think?
That ant would have been better off being there when it happened.
How could you tell the ant was...
What do you think? So you
Just the
saw
way
him,
I mean, they run around in circles anyway, don't they? But this was just kind of going, what's going on?
and what did it slow down when it got nearer the nest? Did it drop the leaf and then you see it run the last few inches?
It just kind of got close, and it was like a double take almost. Almost like it got near the hole, and then it was like, hang on a minute, this can't be it, because no one's around. And then it walked on, and it went, no, it is the hole. And it went back, and it just sort of stopped for a minute.
Ah.
And that for me, that's the sort of thoughts Descartes should have been having.
What?
Things that you can look at as a human and
yeah.
appreciate it and understand it
Yeah.
and go, yeah, that's true, that is like life. Instead of, oh, am I awake, am I asleep, or what? No. Well, you might as well be asleep because you're doing nothing else.
Oh, Descartes! Winehouse, Alan. Slammed. What do you do towards enjoying your life?
I don't normally enjoy the thing when I'm doing it. It's after. It's like that holiday. When I
What
was
do you
on
mean
holiday.
you don't enjoy the thing when you're doing it? It's after. What's an example of not enjoying the thing at the moment, but you do after?
You didn't enjoy the holiday.
Say like the holiday. I've just
So you
been
enjoyed
away.
coming off holiday? What?
I want to hear it. You enjoyed the holiday. You didn't enjoy the
When
holiday.
I'm there, I had fleas biting me.
Yeah.
I had mosquitoes biting me.
Yeah.
There was a funny smell of damp in the bathroom. I was worrying, getting in the sea, thinking, is there stonefish in it? Right? Now, you've got all that going on.
Yeah.
When you get back, you forget about the damp smell. You forget
Well,
about
you
the
haven't.
fleas, because the bites have gone. They're not as much of a problem.
Yeah.
So then your brain starts going, well, hang on, what did I enjoy? And you go, I enjoyed the dorada fish I had that I've never eaten.
Yeah.
That's an experience. At the time, I wasn't enjoying it, because I'm thinking, when I get back, I'm going to have fleas on me again.
Yeah.
So you remember all the good stuff. It's like an old person when they're dying and they go, I'm having flashbacks. They don't say, I'm remembering the time my shoes were too tight.
What do they say?
They're having nice, they're going, oh, I loved the time with that.
I was
Harold."
wearing flip-flops.
No, they enjoy, they have flashbacks.
Like
of the
what,
nice
then?
holidays.
What do you think you're
The
going
holidays and that. You'll go, oh, the lovely hot summer of 79.
So you don't enjoy anything you enjoy while you're
At the
doing
moment, at the moment in time, it's
I
always
don't understand
afterwards.
that. I mean, that is the oddest thing I've ever heard
I think
about.
there's actually a medical term for it. There's someone who's unable
I've never heard of
to
it.
enjoy, to receive pleasure, to take pleasure.
It's really weird. That is really weird.
No, because you're busy doing the thing. So
Well,
you haven't got time to enjoy
So
it. when
you can't enjoy something you're busy doing because you're busy doing it. You can't possibly enjoy it.
Or you don't know if you're going to enjoy it because it hasn't finished yet.
Well, Carl, but listen, I know from the at the
Right,
moment.
say this.
Listen,
Bungee jumping. I'd love to be able to do it. I bet you get a brilliant feeling as you're
Right.
falling.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be enjoying it because I'd be going, is the thing going to snap?
Right. Okay. Well, there is something about that. Extreme sports. There is a reason why you're doing it. It is the after effect you enjoy because it's the fear and then the endorphins that rush to you and you go, my God, I survived. Isn't it brilliant? That's a feeling of euphoria. So that's
No, you're having a nice dinner.
right. Okay.
Now, when I get a menu given to me in a restaurant,
Yeah.
I go, right, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
Right, well, when I came here, I thought I'd have some lamb chops. They've got lamb chops, great. Wonder how much to give you, because I quite fancy this pudding they've got.
Right.
Now, I have the lamb chops, it comes with extra veg. I eat it, I enjoy it. The pudding I wanted, it's gone out the window, I've got no room for it now.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed the lamb chops.
You enjoyed that chops. You can only pack so much. If you're enjoying all your life all the time, there's no point in regretting anything.
That's just greed.
No, but I was looking forward to the pudding.
Well, you shouldn't have eaten all the veg.
Yeah, but I was enjoying it at that point.
But then you take the pleasure that you had at that point.
No, because I wanted a pudding.
Yeah, but
But you didn't want to put in, or you've had to put in.
No, because I would have had it for the sake of having it. And then it's
Yeah,
ruined.
but I don't know what the whinge is there. You had a lovely meal. You had some lovely lamb chops. You enjoyed the hour.
Because when I read that they had like profiteroles on there,
Yeah.
I thought I fancy a couple of them.
yeah, and
And,
then
and the chance has gone. I'm probably not coming back to this restaurant now.
yeah, but you
because-
haven't missed a chance. You had the chance. You didn't want to take it because you were full up with lovely lamb.
It's
What's
not
the
like you
problem?
didn't enjoy the lamb and the veg. If you'd not enjoyed that, I can understand your point. But you had a lovely time eating the lamb and the veg.
If
Remember
someone
with the
said,
gravy?
if the bloke came here and said you can have the buffet rolls if you eat this lamb you don't like, you go, oh, and you ate the lamb, you didn't like it, but now you're full, then you could whinge. You wish I hadn't been forced to eat the lamb. I could have the buffet rolls. That's
I had a spicy sausage.
right.
Now, the problem was, I was enjoying it, but I thought this is the spiciest sausage I've ever eaten.
right.
Now, I could only enjoy that the next day night when I knew that it's
The
gone
next
through
day
my body, there hasn't been a problem. So I go, that was a nice sausage, I'd have one of them again.
That was a nice sausage. But then the next time, surely you'd be enjoying it because you wouldn't have the trauma of the next night because you'd lived through it, and now you're just enjoying
But
the
the
lovely
problem-
spiciness and the sausaginess of the spicy sausage.
Yeah, but the problem is, once you've enjoyed something, it's very difficult to replace what you got from that spicy sausage the first time.
Then why are you looking forward to having another one?
Because let me tell you,
Go on.
Auntie Nora,
Yeah.
she's guilty of this all the time.
She loves a spicy
Well, she, I've told you, she prepares all the food, right? She's got them all in bags in a freezer, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Right.
She's got it all there. Now, what she normally does, she makes a big pot of curry.
Right.
She goes, what I'll do, I'll pop that in the Monday bag, and I'll pop it in the Thursday bag. It's the same curry. Now, she has it on the Monday.
Yeah.
She loves it. She thinks I got the mix just right there. The spices are good. The chicken was tasty.
I'm looking forward to Thursday.
I'm looking forward to Thursday. I can't wait for Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll call her up on the Thursday evening. I'll go, how was the curry that you had on Monday that you said you were having again on Thursday that you enjoyed? Didn't enjoy it. Why is that? don't know, just want the same. Now the weird thing there is, it is the same. Auntie Nora, that is the same. It's from the same bag, it's from the same pot. But she was expecting too much, and that's the problem. If I had that spicy sausage again, it's never going to live up to it. So forget the spicy sausage. I've had it, I've experienced it.
So you
if
never
someone
know
says, well, it depends.
So do you have anything twice ever?
Maybe not.
But this is insane, Carl, because aside from you and your Auntie Norma and presumably all the other Pilkington clan, or all as weird as one another, why you phone her up and ask her what she's having for tea, I don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing.
What, and
That shows
not
you
only what it's happening on Monday, but what you're going to do on Thursday as well. I'll make a note of it in the Auntie Norma food diary.
That's proof that you really aren't enjoying your life now.
Exactly.
To go, right, oh, fucking hell.
What else do you say?
But
to
then
other
he's
people?
phoning her up again late on the Friday to find out how the Thursday curry went down.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
That's two calls that week.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's just
read her journal.
No, it makes her happy, doesn't it? Getting a call. She's got nothing else.
Yeah,
What
well,
else
the
is she
curry
gonna
doesn't.
tell
The
me?
curry don't make her happy.
No, she did the first
They
time.
loved it on Monday. We should like it on Thursday.
No, the question is it better to enjoy something once and not again than not at all?
But you're an idiot because you're the only person who experiences this.
That's not the choice. That's not the choice for normal people. You can either never enjoy summer or only enjoy it once. You can enjoy things loads of times.
No, you can't.
That's what a hobby is. A hobby is enjoying things over and over again.
I haven't got a hobby ever. That's why. I've had loads of hobbies in the past. I did the dancing, I did the boxing, I did, what else have I done?
That is it. I think that's what.
But that's what I'm saying now, I soon get bored.